What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I just want to do a little video talking about engine swapping the 11th gen trucks. We're starting to see some people start to do it. We've seen Coyotes and they're starting to put them in with 6R80s, and it's really exciting to see people doing this. Now, for a long time I've had thought about doing this to my truck someday. And as I've watched some of these builds, whether they're even 11th gen or not, it's mostly been other generations of trucks that I've watched. It's a massive undertaking. I think a lot of people think that because this platform is so similar to the 12th gen, that they can just drop a Coyote in, throw a control pack in it, and they're off. And that couldn't be further from the truth. There's all sorts of things that you're going to need to do and work through in order to have the swap be seamless, which I think is most people's intent when they're engine swapping, right? They want my vehicle, but just with a modern powertrain, but everything to still work. You don't want to be sitting in a race car, right? Like, it's very easy to put a Coyote in a race car because you're not worried about all that stuff. And I mean, relatively speaking, easy. It's much easier with the less options needed to get the thing running. For me personally, I've kind of talked myself out of it because I think that there's so much that you need to be aware of with these, and it's just, quite frankly, it's more than I'd want to get into. I don't want this truck downed. I want to enjoy it. I want to drive it. And the platform that I would really like to do a swap with a Godzilla is a 92 to 96 F150 flare side, because they're older. It's one of my dream vehicles. It's super attainable, and it's a vehicle that I'd be okay with kind of taking my time, doing paint and body as I learn that, going through to a bare chassis, and just building the truck around the engine. That's more of where I'd want to do an engine swap. These trucks are just so complicated, even by today's standards, and there's so many things that you need to be aware of, whether it's the transmission lines, air conditioning, how are you getting your dashboard to talk to the control pack. I mean, guys, these are real things that I think a lot of people don't think about. Follow any of these Coyote groups. You're seeing some of these people ask these questions. What about a cross member for a 6R80? Your stock one isn't going to work. If you can weld, that's what makes this stuff viable. But when people think it's a drop-in swap and I can just drop it in and a couple little bit of wiring, that's not what's involved here. And I hope people do this if that's what they want and they have the budget for it. I just wanted to make this because I think a lot of people search for it, and I think a lot of people think it's just like, it literally just bolts in, and yeah, the engine physically may, but the rest of it doesn't. You're gonna have to kind of pioneer some of it and be okay with your vehicle being down for potentially months as you work through it. And also, my other thing would be, if you were not planning on keeping that vehicle indefinitely, which most people do not, I wouldn't swap it. Because unless you're like me and you pretty much know you will never sell this, right? You've killed your resale. And I understand that that's not always something everyone factors in, but just realize people don't want swaps unless it's a particular vehicle and they want that exact engine and it was executed perfectly. Other than that, you've got a potential rat's nest, or something where, oh, I got this to work and it works for me, but you got to do this to make the, and people don't want that. So just keep that in mind as I see these comments of, I've got an F150 Super Crew and the 5.4 is rattling, what should I do? Do the timing. Plain and simple. Not a Coyote swap. And it's the same goes for when people will talk about, oh, should I do the timing for $2,000 or $2,500, or should I just drop a new engine in it? It's the same price. It's not the same price because you still have to pay labor. Unless you can do it yourself all the way, it is more expensive to put an engine instead of doing the time. It's the same idea as these engine swaps. So everyone's going to do what they want. It's exciting to see people do it, and I look forward to seeing more of them done. But I just wanted to make this, like I said, because I think a lot of people think that it's just going to bolt in, and that's simply not the case. More people would have done it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below. It's cool to see people attempting this. So if you have any thoughts on it, if you're working on one yourself, let me know. I'd love to follow along with your build. So for now, that's going to do it, guys. We will talk to you in the next one. Take care.